Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because what I'm about to reveal could completely change the way you look at the coins sitting in your drawer, your safe, or even your pocket. If you are between 35 and 65 or older, especially if you've spent years working hard, saving wisely, and appreciating real value, this story is for you. Stay with me until the very end, because the final number I reveal may shock you. Today we are talking about a coin that many people have seen, but very few truly understand. The 2019 South Africa 5 Rand coin. A coin from South Africa that carries more than just monetary value. It carries history, identity, legacy, and in certain rare circumstances, astonishing financial potential. Now let me ask you something. How many times have you held a coin in your hand and never looked twice at it? How many times have you tossed change into a jar without thinking about what it might be worth years later? For many men in the 35 to 65 plus age group, coins represent something powerful. They remind us of simpler times. They remind us of fathers who kept small coin collections in wooden boxes. They remind us of the discipline of saving, of the pride of ownership, and of understanding the difference between spending and investing. The 5 Rand coin issued in 2019 is not just another piece of circulating currency. On the surface, it appears ordinary. It has a strong, solid feel. Its design reflects national heritage. Its metallic composition gives it durability. But what separates an ordinary coin from an extraordinary one is not always visible to the naked eye. The men watching this right now understand something younger generations often overlook. Real value is not always loud. It is not flashy. It does not scream for attention. It waits quietly for those who recognize opportunity. In 2019, millions of 5 Rand coins were produced for circulation. Most of them are still worth face value. But here is where it becomes interesting. Within large mintages, there are always exceptions. Variations, errors, limited releases, special strikes. And those are the pieces that collectors chase with intensity. When we talk about coin value, we are not just talking about age. Many people believe old automatically means valuable. That is not true. Condition, rarity, demand, and historical significance matter far more than age alone. A coin from 2019 can, under the right circumstances, be worth far more than a coin from 1919. That the 2019 5 Rand coin carries symbolic imagery tied to national identity. The craftsmanship represents pride. For seasoned collectors, especially men who appreciate precision, detail matters. The sharpness of the strike, the clarity of the lettering, the absence of wear. Even the smallest minting anomaly can multiply value dramatically. Now imagine this. A batch of coins leaves the mint. Somewhere in that batch, a slight misalignment occurs. A die shifts by a fraction of a millimeter. To the average person, the coin looks normal. To a trained eye, it is a treasure. Collectors in the 35 to 65 plus age group often have patience. They understand long-term thinking. They have seen markets rise and fall. They have seen assets dismissed and later rediscovered. Coins fall into that category. Over time, certain pieces separate themselves from the rest. Another factor that drives value is scarcity created by survival rate. Even if millions were minted, how many remain in perfect, uncirculated condition? How many were preserved carefully? How many were handled with gloves, stored in protective capsules, shielded from scratches, humidity, and oxidation? Condition grading is everything. A coin in average circulated condition may be worth its face value. The same coin in pristine, mint state condition could command exponentially more. Collectors examine surface luster. They look for hairline scratches. They study edges. They measure centering. They inspect relief sharpness under magnification. Now let's talk psychology. Why would someone pay serious money for a 2019 5 Rand coin? Because collecting is not just about metal. It is about story. It is about owning a moment in time. It is about holding history in your palm. For many men over 40, collecting coins is more than a hobby. It is a discipline. It is strategic. It is calculated. It is an alternative store of value outside traditional systems. In uncertain times, tangible assets bring peace of mind. The 2019 release came during a period of global economic shifts. Political tensions, currency fluctuations, and changing markets influenced how people viewed tangible assets. Coins became attractive not only for collectors, but also for investors seeking diversification. There is also the factor of commemorative significance. Some editions carry subtle differences tied to production runs, mint marks, or special packaging. Coins released in limited presentation sets can carry premiums that far exceed circulation pieces. Imagine a scenario where a limited number of high-grade 2019 5 Rand coins are certified by professional grading services. These coins receive top-tier grades. Suddenly, supply shrinks. Demand grows. Collectors compete. Auctions heat up. And here is something powerful. When men between 35 and 65 see opportunity, they move decisively. They understand calculated risk. They understand patience. They understand that real wealth is often built quietly. Now think about legacy. A coin purchased today can be passed down tomorrow. It can sit in a safe for decades. It can become part of a family story. When grandchildren open that box years later, they will not just see metal. They will see foresight. The design elements of the 2019 5 Rand reflect national pride. The craftsmanship reflects technological precision. Modern minting techniques allow for sharper detail than ever before. That means high-grade examples are visually striking, but not all coins are equal. Within any production year, subtle variations can exist. Slight differences in finish. Proof versions versus circulation strikes. Special mint sets. Collector editions packaged differently from standard rolls. For serious collectors, packaging matters. Original mint packaging can increase desirability. Certificates of authenticity can add credibility. Documentation builds trust in the marketplace. Now let us build suspense. Imagine discovering that among ordinary 5 Rand coins from 2019, a rare variant exists. Perhaps a die error. Perhaps a limited proof strike. Perhaps a micro detail that only seasoned collectors recognize. The average person might overlook it, but the informed individual sees possibility. This is why education is power. The more you know, the sharper your eye becomes. And once you start paying attention, you realize that coins are not. Before we begin, if you appreciate powerful stories about rare coins, hidden wealth, and the kind of discoveries that can change a man's life overnight, make sure you subscribe right now and stay with me until the very end, because today's story might make you look at the loose change in your drawer very differently. Gentlemen, imagine this. You are cleaning out an old drawer. Maybe it's in your garage, maybe in your study, maybe in a box that hasn't been opened in years. Inside are a few old coins, nothing special at first glance. Among them sits a simple South Africa 50 cents coin dated 2007. It looks ordinary. It feels ordinary. It probably bought a loaf of bread or a cup of tea nearly 2 decades ago. But what if I told you that this humble piece of metal carries a story far more powerful than its face value? What if I told you that for the right collector, under the right circumstances, this coin could represent something extraordinary? Now, most men between 35 and 65 understand the value of patience. You've worked hard. You've built careers, families, businesses. You know that real value is rarely obvious at first glance. Gold looks like rock before it is refined. Diamonds look like stones before they are cut. And coins? Coins look like pocket change before history gives them weight. The South Africa 50 cents 2007 coin was minted during a significant period in South African history. By 2007, the country had been more than a decade into its democratic era. The nation was evolving, modernizing, strengthening its identity on the global stage. Every coin struck that year carried not just metal, but national symbolism. It carried language, heritage, pride, and the quiet resilience of a nation that had gone through dramatic transformation. The 50 cents coin itself is not flashy. It was designed for circulation, for everyday use. On one side, the national coat of arms stands as a powerful symbol of unity and diversity. On the other, the denomination and year mark its place in time. Millions were minted, yes. But here's where things become interesting. Not all coins are equal, even if they share the same year and design. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin that has passed through thousands of hands becomes worn, scratched, faded. But a coin that was preserved from the start, stored carefully, untouched by the oils of human skin, can retain its original mint brilliance. Collectors call this uncirculated or mint state. And when a coin from 2007 remains in flawless condition nearly 2 decades later, its rarity increases dramatically. Now consider something deeper. Production errors. Every now and then, during minting, something goes slightly wrong. A misaligned strike, a double impression, a missing detail, a subtle flaw invisible to the casual eye but glaringly obvious to a trained collector. These errors are not mistakes in the world of collecting. They are treasures, because they are rare, and rarity drives demand. Think about supply and demand the way you would think about property or classic cars. A standard vehicle depreciates, but a limited edition model, kept in perfect condition, sometimes appreciates beyond expectation. The same principle applies to coins. A standard circulated 50 cents 2007 coin might be worth only its face value, but an uncirculated specimen, especially one with a verified minting anomaly, can command serious attention in the collector's market. And here is where psychology enters the picture. Men in our age group understand legacy. We think about what we leave behind. We think about smart investments. We think about assets that carry both financial and historical weight. Coin collecting is not just a hobby for retirees. It is a disciplined pursuit that combines history, economics, art, and strategy. The South Africa 50 cents 2007 coin represents a moment frozen in metal. It reminds us of an era when the country was strengthening its global presence. The design elements reflect national identity, cultural unity, and forward progress. For collectors outside South Africa, coins from African nations often hold exotic appeal. For collectors within South Africa, they hold patriotic pride. Now let's talk numbers in a serious way. The majority of 2007 50 cents coins are common. That is a fact. But within large mintages, survival rates in high grades are much lower than people assume. Coins get spent. They get damaged. They get melted. They get lost. Over time, the number of pristine examples shrinks. Imagine that out of millions minted, only a small fraction remain in mint condition. Then imagine that out of those, an even smaller number have a verified error or special characteristic. Suddenly, the supply is no longer millions. It becomes hundreds, or dozens, or even single digits in exceptional cases. Collectors compete for the best. Auctions become battlegrounds. Two determined buyers can push a price far beyond what logic alone would dictate. Why? Because rare coins are tangible history. They are portable wealth. They are conversation pieces. They are status symbols within collecting circles. There is also the emotional factor. Many men between 35 and 65 remember 2007 clearly. It does not feel ancient. It feels recent. That connection to time creates nostalgia, and nostalgia fuels markets. Think about the cars from your youth that are now classics. Think about watches that once seemed ordinary but are now luxury collectibles. Time transforms perception. Let's examine the physical characteristics of the 2007 50 cents coin more closely. The metallic composition gives it durability. The detailed engraving reflects advanced minting technology of the period. The edges, the texture, the relief of the coat of arms. These are not accidental. Each detail required precision engineering. When evaluating value, professional graders examine luster, strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. A coin that appears perfect under normal light may reveal microscopic scratches under magnification. True high-grade coins are rare because perfection is rare, and then there is provenance. If a particular 2007 50-cent coin can be traced back to a special mint set, or if it was part of a limited release, its desirability increases. Documentation adds credibility. Credibility adds confidence. Confidence increases bidding power. Now let's address something many people overlook. Currency reflects political and economic confidence. A coin from a stable and developing nation carries more international interest than one from an unstable economy. South Africa's global recognition and strong numismatic community support the long-term collectability of its coinage. For serious collectors, diversification matters. Just like an investment portfolio includes different assets, a coin portfolio often includes different countries and eras. The 2007 South Africa 50 cents coin fits into modern African numismatics, a category.